Hello, welcome to the Talk Site podcast. A little bit of deja vu going on right now. And we're joined with the Raz, Jack and Lee. How are you doing, guys?
Good, man. How's yourself?
Absolutely
good, very
superb. Superb.
I know that.
So, my first question for you guys is, how did you actually start out as the Raz?
So originally it was 5 of us all in the same class at school. Some of us were actually in the same nursery right throughout. So we grew up together, played football together, and when we got to the age of about 15, 16, we obviously were in music class, so a couple of us started picking up guitars and I started singing. And basically the 5 of us so it was Andy, Jason, me, Neil and Jordan. It's only me, Neil and Jordan that are left. So we just kind of came to the conclusion that why not, let's have a go at playing songs, because Jason, who was a friend at school, his dad was in bands, so we kind of looked up to them a bit and just said, well, we as well giving it a bash. So Andy, he can play an instrument, so we just handed him a bass guitar because that was kind of all that was left.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that bassists are like poor or that, but it was easy. Strings. It only had 4 strings. So he picked up the bass. I said, why not? I'll give the singing a go. Jason could already play guitar. Jordan could play guitar. Neil was playing drums. So that was basically it. And over the years, it's chopped and changed. And now I play guitar instead of having an extra person in the band. But now we've actually got keys as well. So it's
that's a bit of difference, doesn't it? Having keys and that.
The sound, it makes it massive.
So where did you... Oh, sorry.
When I joined the band, I started on keys.
Yeah.
And then I went from keys onto bass when Andy left the band.
So you've downgraded then?
It was like musical instrument.
Just like, this is my first instrument, so upgrade.
So where did you get your name? Because when I hear the Raz, all I'm hearing is ooh ah up the bra. I don't know.
It's been a thing that has been stuck to us since we named ourselves that. I don't know. Honestly, the truthful story is we were drunk one night and our original name was Feedback. Terrible. Absolutely shocking. So, playing covers as a band called Feedback, like it's proper. It's like the typical band that you see in a pub. Feedback. When the sun goes down by the Arctic Monkeys. So, we up our game. So when we started writing our own material, we said, right, we need to get something that's ours. So we're all drunk one night, and we're literally just writing random words down. And the Raz just it looked good to us. Don't know what we were drinking that night, but anyway. So we changed it like on our socials and stuff that night, steaming. Then obviously and they were like, Raz, what does it even mean? So when we looked into it, a rat is actually like a posh boy who's basically been privately educated and wears chinos. The complete opposite of what we are. So that's it. It's literally, it's not even like, doesn't even make sense, the apostrophe and stuff, but we're like,
I like it, man. I do like it.
It's ours, that's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. A bit like if something hits with you, then that's it, and then that's the main thing. Like people are like, oh, something clicks, isn't it? That's the one, isn't it?
It was, I mean, obviously there was a lot of alcohol involved, so it was just, that looks brilliant.
Yeah. Last night must have been quite a big night for you, really, wasn't it? With your new song getting played on the radio. How was that for you?
It was quite surreal, to be fair. I didn't like. It's weird because there's been quite a lot of like radio achievements and stuff coming in with this new campaign, but even with that one, it didn't really hit home until you actually we all tuned in last night, until we actually heard the intro and him introduce the song as well. It didn't really click that fucking we're on Radio 1. It was amazing. I stayed up last night and arsed a bottle of wine, so I was well gone celebration. So that was good.
Has the reception that you've got for it been good? Like, has it been well received by fans.
I mean,
Totally. Right. I would say our socials are the busiest they've been for a while. Just people interacting with our radio posts and people saying they've heard it, and it's page is booming. So
yeah, like I noticed it getting a lot of retweets, tweets, and that. Like when I was scrolling through,
a lot of new faces, that's why we do it. Which is it's really good.
Really good.
Would you say it's like your first big milestone as a band? So it's only up from here.
Yeah, so we had Radio X. What was that, a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for me, I probably tune into Radio X every day. Not
Yeah.
for choice sometimes, but it's on at like the building sites or whatever. But that was quite an achievement. Again, it didn't hit home until John Kennedy actually tweeted back to us, "Great track," and then he listened to it rather than just play it. So so that was good. But Radio 1, I mean, you ask anybody in the country what's the biggest radio station in the UK, and they'll tell you that. So
I disagree. It's Capital. But so obviously you've had radio play, but that's not quite playing live, is it? You know, listening to yourself on radio, completely different. What's the best gig you've ever played?
Lee, go for it.
That's a hard question.
I would say
one of my favourites was probably playing the Zanzibar in Liverpool.
Yeah. There was good hype for the crowd as well. So.
And it was first time we played Zanzibar, so and we got really good feedback after, and the night out after.
Always. The night out takes the gig even better than it was. Yeah. For me, there's been a couple of good, like, proper standout gigs. Witchwood Festival, which is in the middle of Cheltenham Racecourse. That was like, it was new ground for us, and we literally turned up the day before and like broke into the festival for the night. But like nobody even knew us. We're quite early on, I think. We're like fourth, fifth on in a tent. And we're just kind of networking before it, just handing out stickers and selling T-shirts and that, as you do. And everybody's like, in two minds whether to buy the £10 T-shirt. But then after the gig, we sold out the T-shirts, which was really good.
That's mad, isn't it?
So like networking before it made the gig, and it just made it so much more rewarding.
Yeah. To
walk out to the tent, like to walk out on the stage and look at the tent, and it's absolutely packed. When you expected to play in front of just kind of minimum crowd there, because nobody knew us, but it was good, like really good.
How many people were there?
Was that but wasn't he playing? This was before I was. I bought a T-shirt actually.
So obvious question coming up, but who are your influences?
Currently, well, with the album, it's been a lot of Radiohead, Black Rebel, Kasabian, Foo Fighters. I would go all the way to say, like, obviously the Beatles and stuff. But for me personally, Bowie, Libertines, The View and stuff. Like, probably covered.
Yeah, like listen to like your stuff on Spotify and that, like there's certainly like a lot of blends of every band you just mentioned, really.
Yeah. So like Jordan, especially the guitarist, he was like a Jimi Hendrix fanatic and John Frusciante fanatic at a young age. So when we went round to his house to do like the first writing session, he was like, "Watch this!" Whipped the guitar behind his head and started playing like. Okay, so that's like his influences are like John Frusciante and Jimi Hendrix, and then I brought like the Beatles and stuff, and then it's literally a big collaboration right across the board. But good for the sound.
Yeah, like when you listen to a band and you can't actually put your finger on their influence. I think it's always a good sign.
I think so too. Aye, especially for like a worky art, like an album. If you just think, oh, that's them, they sound like them.
Yeah.
Then you want to go through and pick. Like, I think the album is got so many different genres in it, which is like looking back at all the 11 and a half tracks out of there. It's like, aye, you could pick out a band that influenced each song for me, but then Neil the drummer could pick a total different band for the same song, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I think that's quite.
Inverness being told we sounded like the music.
The music, aye.
And
we had been listening to quite a lot of the music.
We went back to listen to their music and like related a lot of things that we probably never realised at the time. So I thought that was quite a good.
I try to think where it was recently. They said they sound a lot like Doves, and there was a studio in Glasgow. I don't know. I can't remember what song we were playing, but the guy was like, "Have you ever listened to Placebo?" And I was like, "Nah, no, really. I never like." You hear their song, their hit, whatever it is, on the radio, but never really listened into them. He told me, I was like, honestly, you're just the way your vocal is. It sounds quite a lot like the singer. So I looked into it and I was like, fair enough.
Accidental influences.
Aye, it is. It's totally accidental, which is fine. It's good for me.
That's the thing with like modern music. I hate it with all the generic indie bands that you hear, and you can just tell.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's Catfish and Involvement written all over it. There is too many nowadays that are just playing your classic guitar music. They're trying to redo Arctic Monkeys' first album.
What bands is it you're on about?
I can't name names.
No, I know exactly you.
I mean, I could definitely name a few if I wanted to, but
we would be here all night, really.
So these, I'm kidding. I know exactly what you mean. 1975 Catfish, it's just like Catfish, good. They're like, musically a good band and stuff, but it's just the same two albums they've released.
Yeah.
That's boring for me. Yeah, that's actually. I'd rather watch paint dry. Yeah, it's boring.
It's like their albums are just B-sides of their first album, doesn't it?
Aye, it actually got weaker, which I didn't study it too much, but I just thought it's not even as good, which is saying something.
The problem is people are seeing their success and they're seeing like 1975 success, and they're just trying to repeat it and find the same success. Whereas with yourselves, I can definitely see like you're trying to pave your own way in the music industry, not to lick your asses too much. And I do like, I appreciate when I listen to a band and they're not trying to just copy and paste what someone else has done.
I mean, you've got to be a bit experimental. And see, the thing is, if you're playing something and you know deep down that you're playing it to please somebody else, like, what is the point in that? You'd be as well just playing covers, eh? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that leads us perfectly on to our next question. Where do you guys see yourselves in 10 years?
Probably like supporting Catfish in the bottom end. Honestly, whatever
deep, all the same.
Our life chucks at us. I hope we're still a band. There's one thing. And who knows what could happen? I mean, the money might go to our head if we make it big. So we end up like Alex Turner with the old slick back and stuff. But I don't know. I just hope we're a band and we're still achieving things that we've not achieved.
Yeah, that's probably the best answer I've ever had to that question, to be fair.
Holy.
All right, that leads us onto the little game we have planned. So, you guys are stuck on an island. You can pick one album to take with you. Which would it be and why?
Abbey Road, the Beatles.
No messing about.
Just straight in there.
It's not a bad choice, to be fair. Why
it's
Abbey Road?
right.
Why Abbey Road?
So I just love how it's like I try to think what track it starts, but there's just like a collective in music. It doesn't actually stop until it gets to Her Majesty at the end. It's just that. I just love it. I absolutely love it.
I'm
And I
gonna
think
go
it's quite
for,
experimental for what they've done. Like trying to follow up albums like Sgt. Pepper and stuff and Magical Mystery Tour. Like where do you go for there? And I just think what they done there was it kind of just set them up to the finish. You know what I mean? It was the last album for a reason.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Beach Boys, Pet Sounds.
Another very, very strong choice.
We can practice
Yeah.
harmonies.
Aye. Incredible bass playing as well, so
Mm.
I'd go with that.
It's a very
Oh,
strong
that's-
album, to be fair. I mean,
Yeah.
2 old albums as well, like not recent either.
Aye.
I should have dropped in the Catfish in the Bottle Man album there.
Honestly,
Balcony. What an album.
The second one especially, bro.
I would be taking 1975 self-titled every day of the week. Every day of the week.
Well, can we ask it back to you guys?
Of course you can.
Yeah. Oh
Gosh,
God,
can.
I wasn't ready. Wasn't ready for this one.
Yes.
Do I be really obvious? It'd either have to be definitely maybe What's the Story, Morning Glory, one of those two.
Nice.
I know you're only supposed to say one, but I can't choose between them two. Maybe edging maybe towards Morning Glory. I think that one had more of an impact on my life so far.
Fair. For me, Tranquility Base Hotel Casino. It's been out 2 years now. Is it 3 years? Nah, 2 years. I'm still not over it. Still not over how good it is. I don't know if you agree. For me,
Are we split? I think we could be split here.
I can see by your faces actually.
So you need to guess. This is our game. You need to guess which one of us likes it.
I'm going to assume, Lee, you're a fan.
I'm already saying.
I like it. I do like it. I think it should have been his solo project rather than Arctic Monkeys.
Mm.
I think it's quite obvious in the playing. Like Matt Helder's an absolute demon. He's not a session drummer.
Mm.
So like that kind of leans me to but they wouldn't have signed up for it, or did they? I don't know. Maybe we'll give him a phone and see what's happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, you say that. There are clips out there of Alex Turner showing Matt Helders how he wants it drummed. So
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from. But by the same token, I bloody love that album. I think Track for Track was not a bad song on there.
No.
And 2 of my favourite songs of all time were on that album, in Star Treatment and 4 out of 5. I think for longevity, that is one album that I could just listen to over and over. Pretty much what Abbey Road is for yourself.
Yeah, aye. It's aye. I mean, as I say, it's just I don't know what mark this up, so I'm not going to say what track it is, but what track number it is. But it's just there's like 5 or 6 songs that just merge.
I know what you're on about. It's like Carry That Way at the end, and
aye.
Golden Slumbers, where the 3 songs just.
Olafine Pan just goes into. She came in through the bathroom window and just fucking.
Yeah, the transitions on there. I mean, fully the era it came out as well. It was revolutionary.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I can really appreciate Abbey Road as an album, and also Pet Sounds because, like you said, some of the harmonies from the Beach Boys, absolutely stunning.
Aye, it's a beautiful piece of music. That
it really is. I mean, Brian Wilson famously influenced Charles Manson, another great musician. So I don't know if you know who Charles Manson is or not. I don't know if that's just got a
crazy fucker.
Absolute psychopath. So, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. You can stream all the Raz music in the link below, Spotify, Apple Music. And thank you for watching. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.